Hey everyone, I'd like to talk to you today about digital smile design, something that is really special for me. I love doing it in my practice, and I'd love to explain it to anyone who maybe would like to experience it or who would like to know more about it. So here goes. Digital smile design, if you think about what the words are, it's digital, of course, so we're going to be doing something with technology on the computer. Smile design, everybody kind of gets that a little bit, but what is smile design and what goes into the smile design can be different depending on what your background is, what your training is as a dentist. When Dr. Christian Coachman, developed digital smile design, he was mainly a technician. He's also a dentist as well, but is mainly a technician. And he was developing wax-ups for patients. He was doing a lot of big cases for many dentists as a technician. And he was finding that those teeth were not always either suiting the patient, or he didn't feel that connection that he knew exactly what was going to give the patient the best outcome. So he describes it as he's developing wax-ups sort of lost in space. And I really can relate to that, and sometimes we have all done those cases where we've done veneers for a patient or we've done something for a patient cosmetically, and it really isn't quite what we were kind of hoping, or maybe it didn't suit the patient and there wasn't a great communication there. What he realized is, of course, by using the facial dimensions or getting some more information from the patient and from the dentist understanding what the patient wants, using those things, and even sometimes even learning about their personality, what type of teeth or what type of smile is going to be the best design for that patient. The great thing about technology now is that we can do a lot of design work, and whether you're an architect or you're any kind of builder or you're any kind of designer in anything, we do a lot of our work now on the computer. And so dentistry is no different. We can use the software and use what's called the Planning Center. They're in Madrid in Spain, and they help us design smiles that will actually suit the patient, but really mainly on the computer first. So we do a 2D and a 3D rendering of what we think is going to suit the patient based on real actual tooth molds and a library that we know that has been found in nature and that will really look natural. And I think that's one of the things is in today's world of cosmetic dentistry, people, yes, they want their smile to be beautiful, but they always asking for, I just want it to look natural. I don't want people to know that I've had it done. It needs to look right. And when we just simply make teeth day after day, and we're not using something that's from a natural tooth form, sometimes a little bit of that and those little nuances and things about teeth that are found in nature are not copied. And so that's a bit of a sad thing, because now we're creating, we're doing cosmetic dentistry, but it just looks like something that is fake. So one of the things that I find so helpful with digital smile design is that I will get a design, or work with the technicians to make a design that will suit that patient but look really natural. When it comes to the actual design, so we take special records on the patient. We do really, really simple things actually. We interview the patient, we take video of the patient, kind of going around their head. We take just some still pictures from the video, and we do what's called a digital impression. So we make an impression of their mouth. It's a simple little wand, and it goes around. Many of you have probably heard of it, and it basically records the mouth in 3D, and that file can be sent to the Planning Center and used in many different ways to plan and design other things, but it can be combined along with the photos to create something that's going to work. So a lot of the design work, everything is done ahead of time. The dentist, myself, or whoever's working with the technicians with the Planning Center, we collaborate and agree on what would look best. Once we know that we feel we have a pretty close idea, and again, it's just a trial run, it doesn't have to be what we're actually going to do, but yes, it looks pretty good. We think that looks right. We will print the model as a 3D model, and everybody's heard of 3D printing, and now we print teeth in 3D, and we basically make a little mold over that model, and then we insert that in the mouth, or we create the units directly and we just place them in the mouth. Now the patient is in your office again, and they can actually have a side-by-side view of a video of them with their natural teeth that they came in with, and with this what we call a trial smile or a mock-up in their mouth. And if when I'm doing these cases, if I don't get a wow, then I know we've maybe done something wrong. But generally, we have so many people are so amazed. It's so much more, I think, emotional, and it connects with the patient on a deeper level when they can really get to try something on. I mean, it's hardly ever do you purchase or invest in even sometimes clothing, of course, as an example, before we actually try it on. So teeth should be no different, and because of this technology, we can easily do this without actually having to, cause any harm to any of the teeth. We can even show you what you would look like with teeth in the side areas if you're missing teeth in those areas, or a front tooth, by just putting this little thing in your mouth, and it looks just like we designed. Now, if you say wow, or if the patient loves it, then we're going to say, well, okay, now that we know that you like it, now let's put the time and energy into designing how we're going to do it. So I like to say we get the wow before the how. So we wow you, we wow the patient, and now we're going to explain how we do it. Now, how we do something, as you know, is always so many more than one way to do something. Maybe the patient is really, really set on having dental implants, and we're going to look at replacing teeth with implants. Maybe the patient is not a good candidate for implants, and we have to look at maybe something like bridges, or some other type of work. Or maybe we have the option to prep a tooth a little bit more, or we can move the tooth into an ideal place with orthodontics first, or something like Invisalign. So I get into a lot of great discussions with the patient after I have their attention. Of course, they're excited about the treatment. I get their attention. Now we're going to go through the files, and we're going to say, look, this is what we need to do to get this. This is what we need to do to get that. And let me give you the option of which way you want to go with this. So the patient's a really big part of, they're sort of a co-pilot in helping design the smile if they want, and they're also a co-pilot in designing how the treatment's going to be performed. Once we have that sort of sorted out in a more general way, now we get into, this is the stages we're going to do it at, this is what the cost will be, and really, again, make the patient feel very informed, very, just really understanding very well what's going to happen. And even if it's going to take us an extra 6 months, they're on board and they're excited because they know the end result. And sometimes just knowing how that cake is going to turn out, or how something's going to turn out, keeps you on the path to being motivated and going through the treatment, instead of just having your dentist or having me just sort of promise you, don't worry, it's going to work out. I want you to know that when we do digital smile design, we create an ideal smile for you in a non-invasive way. We let you try it on, and then we carry through and we give you what we promise, because with the technology that we have now, we can actually copy tooth forms from what we promised. Another really cool thing though about digital smile design is that if you have teeth, or if you have of a smile that you absolutely love, so it could be your sister has these most beautiful smile, or your friend, or someone, again, it could be you're the mom and you want your daughter's teeth, or whatever it is, we can actually now copy your teeth. And maybe that sounds a little crazy, but there's been many cases done where someone wanted the teeth of someone else. It could be someone famous. So we just have to have a copy of a model of that smile, of those teeth. We can still let you try that on and be sure that it's something that suits you, but we can literally copy tooth forms and natural tooth shapes from someone that you admire and someone who has a smile that you love. So that is also where the technology is with digital smile design. The last thing I want to talk about with digital smile design that I love to use, and I sometimes do this as well, just before we, because there is a little bit of a cost sometimes associated with, trying on the teeth and making that sort of commitment. So if the patient's really not yet there, and I just want to show them something, I'm like, listen, let's just look at this. I know that I can do something for you, and they want to find out right away. Maybe that certain personality patients or people, they don't want to go through all this process. So I use a great feature of digital smile design, and this app, it's the digital smile design app. It is getting better and better and so easy to use. It's incredible. So I really highly encourage you to look that up if you are a dentist and you'd like to use it. There's also special courses you can take just on the app. So the app allows me to, again, pick from the tooth library, pick different tooth forms, help the patient show me in just a matter of minutes. And we then are able to, again, help the patient visualize. Because what is the sense in just talking about it, in relative terms? I do show patients some of my other before and afters, but they want to see it in their own face. And when they see a smile that's been designed for them in a matter of minutes, it improves my, the trust they have in me and how excited I am about doing this for them. And it also helps them see. So they're really able to get excited. I can show them like a side-by-side before picture of it, and then they can take a picture of that. They can take it home. They can say, yes, I want to go to the next step. Like, you really, really convinced me. It's been really great. And so I'm using that before my cases start, or even midway through, like maybe it's an Invisalign treatment that I'm doing. So I'll combine it with any sort of stage in the process. So if you want to check that out, I really highly recommend it. The DST app is amazing. I have a lot of really great ways that I do digital smile design in my office that I've adapted. I always, when I do talk about digital smile design, and sometimes in my lectures, I will talk about little tricks and tips and things that we do. I will tell you right here just a couple little things that I think are really important. And one of those is that when you're delivering the mock-up, when you're doing the try-in or the trial mock-up for a patient, and the receptionist is calling the patient to confirm or before they come in, you want them to know that they're going to have more video taken of them. And so you don't want them to just come in their sweats, or that come in their like down day where they're not going to be looking and feeling their best. I always get my receptionist to tell them, listen, we're going to be some more video. It's a really exciting day, and if you can, put a little bit more in to maybe make sure that as a woman, maybe you wear makeup, or you do your hair a certain way, like those types of little things that the patient will say after, like, oh, I wish you told me that I was going to be recorded. Because you want your video side by side of the patient doing the mock-up or looking at the mock-up, really, again, looking their best. So if everything else about their presentation is how they would normally like to have it if they were, coming to an important meeting or going out to dinner, those are the things I would say to them before they come in. Another little thing I think is just allowing the patient to take it all in and not, I get excited for the patient every time, and I'm sure anybody who does digital smile design does, but I think it's really important to not, keep looking at them and having a lot of people in the room, give them the time to really take it in. There's such a high chance they're going to really love it, but you don't want to make them feel like they have to say they love it. So it's certainly a really good idea to not have too many people in there. Another little trick that I use though is if you're ever driving along and all of a sudden they play your favorite music, your favorite song, what we do is we ask the patient ahead of time, what's your favorite upbeat music that you like to listen to? And so we customize the experience of the day of the presentation with their favorite music. So we will get them really loosened up. It's sometimes a little hard to be in front of a camera. Tell me about it. And I feel that when they hear their favorite music, it just gets them going, and they start, moving their body, and they're having fun, and they're really smiling in a way, connecting again emotionally with their smile and with the whole experience than they would have with just nothing, no sound in the room. And that has been amazing. And those days when I do that, I'm always like so thankful. And it really creates a little bit more energy for the whole space, and the patient perceives the experience, and so they should, a little bit more customized and a little bit more just very special for them. So those are my tips for today. I'm going to be posting probably more because there's a lot of really cool things that we've learned along the way over the years of doing digital smile design. But I really hope that helped. And if you'd like to see more content like this, then definitely like this video and subscribe, and I will see you soon.